peace, blessings, enough, holy, plenty, and happy belated Mother's Day.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Mindset Monday, and happy belated Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there, the mother figures. I hope you had a Mother's Day weekend. Today is Monday, May 11. May 11. We're almost the middle of May.
Mm.
And I hope that you all had a spectacular day to day, whether it's work or play, or just returning from vacation, or just returning from that wonderful weekend that your children, your spouse gave you for Mother's Day. We'll be, we're focusing on the flow. And we started last week looking at some wonderful concepts of communication, where it began communication in the home, and then whatever is taught in the home, it is expected that it spreads throughout our wider community. Or if it's not good, we adapt or we learn new things, good things that can help the community at large. So this week we'll be continuing on that in that line. But before we do that, we're gonna be going to our money exercise.
Oh, money exercise already? Okay.
Yes,
Oh my
because last
goodness.
week we almost forgot.
Almost forgot it.
Yes.
Yes, yes, it was all the way down at the last tippy toe end. Yes, the money exercise. As you know, you should be where you should be now.
I
Money
think it's
exercise, right?
two, so it was
Let me see.
178
Uh,
the
Let me
last
put on
time.
my specs. Okay. So by this Saturday, if you are doing from the least to the greater, which means if you start from a dollar to $52,
Mhm.
start from a dollar to $52, then you would be at this weekend is what, the 16th, right?
Yes.
The 16th, you'll be at because you should be putting $20 in, so you'll be at $210, $210, right? And if you're starting from the greater, which is the $52, coming down to the least, then you should be at $850.
A
Eight
nice
hundred.
little change.
Yeah, nice you could change. That can help pay rent. Or for some people.
Yeah.
Well, it can pay rent for a lot of people in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of people, at least 2 months rent that in Florida. All
For a
right.
one bedroom.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. In Central Florida, that is
Mm.
not Fort Lauderdale. We can't say Florida because Florida is big. And so it's
Central
not Fort
Florida.
Lauderdale and Miami. Definitely not Miami, right? But Central Florida, like Winter Haven and Kissimmee. Well, not so much Kissimmee. St. Cloud, those places. Good. All right. So that would be the money exercise. That's where you should reach. So you see how your little money, your little $1 and your $2 and $3. You see how it is compounding
Mm-hmm.
over the months. All right. So if you are doing this exercise, you should be pleased, no matter which way. It's all about discipline. You see, discipline is about it is what this exercise is really about. It's discipline. If you can save that little $1 first week, $2 second week, $3 third week, $4 fourth week, it's just discipline, right? Discipline ourselves. All right. All right. Thank you very much. And so the next item on the program also is, as you know, my dear, lovely, sweet Bunonono's wife. She's an author, a bestseller on Amazon, author kind of woman we're talking about. It's not a kaba kaba woman sit down beside me, man. It's a is an authentic bestseller author, writer, and counselor, enroll agent, all of the above. All right. So, honestly, we just want to launch that celebration once again, and say thank you very much, Queen Miriam, for the amount of effort that you put into writing this book, The Heart of a Servant. Congrats.
I am so grateful to God and all present here and on the varied social media platforms celebrating with me my book, The Heart of a Servant.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Miriam. Really appreciate, really appreciate. And so as we continue with our program today, right, which my dear lovely wife is going to continue.
And before we continue with that program, just want to thank
Okay.
all of you who have supported me with the purchase of the book. And if you have comments, you can share with me how you like it and share with others, because care for self is not selfish.
Mm,
Coming soon, we'll have a workshop. We'll give you more details on it as the time
Time
gets
goes on.
closer. So this week, we'll continue with our flow, the communicating starting from home. I wanted to ask you a question. When you were deliberating yesterday over the weekend, that your mother taught you that if you live in a house, anybody that lives in a house do housework. What value was she communicating with you when she said that?
well, for me, that value was the value that it is not a woman's job.
Mm,
It is not, housework is not for a woman to do, right? From once you live in a house, whether you're a child or an adult, if from once you live in a house, if you are over 18 or you're under 18, if you are the husband, the father, the mother, the wife, it doesn't matter who you are. From once you live in a house, housework is for you. So that value stick with me and has stuck with me even until now.
wonderful.
Mhm.
As long as you live in a house,
Yes,
you do
housework is for
housework.
those who live in the house. Now, if you don't want to do housework, teenagers especially at this time in their juncture, some children don't want to do house, and husbands don't want to do housework, because as far as they are concerned, that's a woman's job, and there's no woman's job in the house.
Except
I
childbearing.
said, well, in the house.
Oh, in the house, in the
In the
house,
house,
in the
as it
house.
relates to housework.
Okay.
There's no such thing as a woman's job. All right. The only thing God blesses a woman, and only a woman to do, is to give birth. Apart from that, everything else, is for everybody to do. Everybody in the house. All right. Because you can't do childbearing. No, I would like to see a husband bear a child. That is work. Oh, mercy. No, that is work. All right. So therefore, let us recognize and love on our mothers, love on our women, love on our ladies, love on our girl child, love, and stop fussing and fighting and quarreling and stop it. You don't need to quarrel to live a good life. Don't need to be quarreling.
Just need to have
Love,
love and communicating the
communication.
differences
Yes.
and know how to have conflict resolution. Because conflict don't mean that it's a fuss and fight. Conflict is when two persons have differences, but know how to resolve those conflict without fussing and fight.
Mm. Yeah, if you say so, I don't think I need to even have conflict either.
Conflict is when uh, two persons cannot see eye to eye, and
Right.
then you sit and sort out what is happening, because conflict comes when communication is not going proper, or or communication is not being received by both parties. I don't understand what you're saying. No, it's not so. That but once it is seen. Oh, that's what you were saying. Yes, that's what I was saying. When you reiterate, when you reframe. In my book, The Art of a Servant, you have the framework ART: ask, reframe, and then take action. So in communication, you ask questions. If you don't understand, then the person reframe or you reframe to see what do you understand from what was said. Then once reframing happens, both parties are on the same wavelength, so there's no conflict there. Then you can take action.
Okay. Okay. I got you. Understood. All right.
So as we continue on our communication, starting from the home and spreading in the wider society, we had stopped at role modeling. We were looking at parents and guardians serve as role models. Their interactions within the home set examples for how to engage with others in the community. So whether there's open dialogue, you find that the child or the children go out having that same, either not wanting to talk or wanting to talk. So whatever is fostered in the home, most of the time is generated or is communicated outside of the home. You have one-off cases where a child just do something, or they get engaged in the community and then they adapt what they see in the wider community. Then we look at community building. Strong family connections can lead to active community involvement. This is summarizing some of what was said last week. Families that prioritize community engagement often participate in local events, volunteer, and support community initiatives, thereby strengthening communal bonds. And as I'm on this, during the holiday season, the height of the holiday, there are people who are lonely. If we get attached to a community, engage in some community activity, you will be so surprised that the latent gifts and talents that you have that you may not even realize would come to fruition. You'll be surprised at yourself how you get involved because you decide to let me see what I can do to help in this way or that way. It does not have to be huge. Whatever small act that you can do to someone or to a community activity, trust me, you'll be feeling so fulfilled after you've done that. So find a community event, find out what is available in your community, whether it's a church community, whether it's a school, whether it's the the community centers in your area, in your borough, in your state, in your little area. Find out what is available there and what you can do to help. So during the holiday, if you're by yourself, if you live by yourself and you have no family close by, get involved that you can lend a hand and feel fulfilled that yes, I've accomplished.
Amen.
Because we were created as community beings.
Yes.
We were created to be there, to be in people's space, to be we are communal beings. So therefore, if we are solo, we're not fulfilling God's calling on our life.
And you die quicker.
Yes.
Your lifespan is shorter.
Talk
When you,
about that lifespan.
well, I mean, if you're a hermit type of a person, which means you like keeping by yourself, staying at home alone, etc., etc., you'll find out, unfortunately, that your lifespan is shortened, and instead of even those 3 score and 10, you might find yourself not even reaching there.
You diminish.
Right? Because we are relational beings. That is how we were created, as relational being. And no disrespect to single people, but when you are married and you have a good relationship, of course, with your spouse, you live longer too, right? You live longer. When you are, around community, you have a large family, and I mean, everything is going fairly well. But you live longer. That is why, if you have any terminal disease, the hospital, and you're going to leave the hospital, the hospital is going to ask you, will a family member come for you? Are you living with a family member? Will someone be able to assist you, and all of those things? Because all those things are very important to
Well-being.
well-being,
Yes.
and to
You returning back to health.
to return to health.
Or even to sustain because if you're terminally ill, even to sustain or make you comfortable for the duration of time that you stay alive. Because people will tell you, I've been around people who are terminally ill, and because of the supportive network that they have, you go around them, they're laughing, they're enjoying life. So my mom always says, seek a friend. The Bible tells us that too. Become friendly, make friends, so that even if you don't have family, blood relative, you will have a community that will connect with you, that will be there for you, that you will be there to assist them. And the whole reciprocity will happen when you actually need someone.
Yes, I met a lady, I should say. I met a lady some months ago now. And she was like, I think in her 50s, I think she was, right? And about 20 years before, she lost a kidney, and she had to get some kind of a operation, or some kind, whatever it was. And the doctors were saying that she would only live to the end of that year, to the end of that year. And because her husband, her family, her just around her, and love on her, and love on her, and love on her, and people around her just love on her, she reached 50 something now.
Yeah, and she had the will to live.
Yeah.
Because she accepted that love that's coming to her, and being around her, oh my goodness, the love that exudes from her. It's only because she's ill why but she
Yep.
does not operate as someone that's ill. I'm telling you, it makes a difference when you are connected with a community, when you're connected with family, when you are connected, that communication bond, oh my goodness. Just thinking about her brings a smile on my face. So you don't have to go this road all by yourself. We are communal beings, and we together can strengthen this communal bond by being a part of a community.
Wonderful. All right.
We look at why communication in the home is healthy and helpful. Another reason is cultural heritage and identity. The home is where cultural heritage and identity are nurtured. By embracing and sharing cultural practices at home, families contribute to the rich tapestry of community diversity. So being a part of a community, you share your culture, and the other person share their culture, and a nice tapestry is built. So you don't see just a white sheet, because that's all is there. No, you see the dots, the purple, the pink, depending on what you contribute, it just bring a nice mosaic. So everyone is understanding or knowing something else that they did not know before. And so it becomes even more joyful. God, I'm telling you, God is so wonderful. He creates us in such unique way that everyone add a piece of, it's like you're mixing the cake batter, and you put in the different things, and the black cake.
Oh yes, black tea. Oh, you're talking about just if you say you're
The
talking about
black
black cake,
cake,
man, fruit cake.
you so different fruits, and
Yes, with different ingredients.
yes, and
Yeah.
so the whole thing just, the whole synergy just appear, and once everything come together, you taste it and say, So that's what it is when a community is in synergy. Oh, it feels so good. Just
Yes.
like how the black cake tastes nice. And we had peace yesterday.
Oh, I had peace today.
Understanding needs at home. Family dynamics, recognizing the unique needs of each family member is crucial to fostering harmonious home environment, and can significantly influence the broader community. Importance of recognizing unique needs: it strengthens relationship, and it helps with conflict resolution. I was talking about conflict resolution earlier. So it helps with conflict resolution. So I know that Derrick doesn't like something. So instead of icking and doing things that he doesn't like, I find a way to do something else, or don't do it at all. Because if it doesn't affect, if it's not something that I need to do, and I know it affects him, just eliminate that. Or you ask why it is that you don't like it. Because if it's something that you could change around, and that you say, what is it you don't like, or what is in this you don't like? And then with communication, then that conflict can be resolved. So conflict don't mean you mash up things, it just means that both parties are not on the same wavelength.
Okay.
And then once I know what is not, or what is, then I can help to alleviate. Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And that has been so done.
So recognizing individual needs help resolve conflict more effectively.
True that.
When family members feel heard and understood, they are more likely to communicate openly and work towards solutions.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yes, 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 definitely.
Why it is important for synergy in the home, it helps with emotional well-being.
Mm.
Addressing the specific needs of each family member contributes to their emotional well-being. A supportive home environment can reduce stress and anxiety, leading to a more positive outlook on life. Can you imagine you're at work and your work is so stressful and you are you really don't want to come home because it is also stressful at home. But think of the flip side. Your work is so stressful and you are longing for the workday to finish to go home because you know you have a safe haven.
Mm-hmm. Nice, loving wife to come home to. Nice, loving husband to come home to. You just
Nice,
want to reach
loving
home.
mother, or you have some people that live with their sibling. Good sibling relationship. You can sit down and you can talk about what happened at work. And,
Mm-hmm.
come home to mommy, children leaving school, come home to mommy, what happened? Children, mommy coming home, a child may, mommy, how was your day? Stuff like that. When you come home and see that smile, people, some of you who have young children, and you come home from work and that child run and hug,
Mm.
and how that feels,
Mm-hmm.
it reduces that
Stress
stressful
level.
day that
Mm-hmm.
you have.
Yep. Yep. So please, that will only happen when you have a loving relationship with the persons at home. So if you're arguing and arguing and arguing and it's a lot of conflicts at home, let us break that cycle because
Mm-hmm.
it can be broken. It's just a choice. It is just a choice. You have to make that choice, especially men. Let me speak to the men for a little while,
Okay,
if I can.
sure.
Let me speak to the men for a little while, especially those who are Bible believers, Christians, go to church, worship God, worship Christ. My brothers, listen, is one thing on the planet that God asks us to do, and is to love our wives. Not to see how much love we can get or how much sex we can get. No. He says, husband, and that was a command.
Mm-hmm.
It was a command. Husband, love your wife as Christ loved the church and gave his life. So just as how Christ gave his life for me and loved me unconditional, you need to love your wife. Love your wife and your mother and your women in it and your ladies and your especially your girl child. Love as all Christ love. Love is a giving word, not a receiving word. Love is a giving word. So all you can do with love when we receive it from God, because that's the only place we can get love. The only place I can get love. I can't get love from my wife. I need to get love from God. And then the only thing I can do with it is to give it to my wife, give it to others. Because love, the only thing you can do with it is to give. For God so loved the world, gave his only son. He gave his begotten son. So that's the only thing you can do with love. So stop, let us stop, especially men. Let us stop looking for love because there's no such thing. You cannot search for love. You ask God to give it to you, then you will have love to give. That's it.
Share.
To share, give, share,
Give,
share. Okay.
Because God so loved that he gave.
Amen. All right.
Okay.
So let us give,
Let us give.
and it come back to you.
Oh yeah, the
Press
song.
down, shaking together,
There's a
running over.
shall men give into your bosom. There's a song that we always sing when we were little in school and in Sunday school. Love is something that if you give it away, it
Love
comes
is
right.
something
And
that
if you give it away, you give it away, you give it away. Love is something if you give it away, it comes right back to you. Just like a magic penny. You put
Okay.
it in your pocket and you don't have any. Okay.
Wrong song.
Okay.
Wrong song. We don't deal with
We don't
magic.
deal with magic.
No.
We deal with the love of God,
Yes,
the vertical love that is imputed in us.
right.
So it's we stay at the first part. Love is something if you give it away, it comes right back to you. So we continue how it influenced the broader community with the interaction. We talk about the empathy and compassion. We talk about diverse perspective. Understand diverse needs within the family encourages openness to different perspective. This can lead to more inclusive communication. So therefore, no one is left out because you're you value, you're valuable. Whatever you say is valued. And so, okay, what do you have to say? No, don't just shut it down. I remember several persons used to say, their parents always said children must be seen and not heard. No. When we foster communication in families, every child should be heard. Every child is heard. Every person in the family is heard. So therefore, you're able to voice your opinion. And then that's how communication is shaped. The child may say something out of turn, but you don't just, shut them up. You say, okay, this should have been said this way, or this is how it should have been done. But they need to know, they need to air their views so you can help them, you can shape them so they can be valuable citizens in the society. So by recognizing and valuing the unique needs of each family member, families can create a nurturing environment that not only benefits individual members, but also positively impact our community. And if each of us practice that, I know our communities would be much better. So I in my small corner, Derrick in his small corner, you in your small corner, do your little thing so it can ripple. It can ripple. So there can be a change.
Amen.
There's a song that says what the world needs now is love, sweet love. And if we allow the love of God to permeate our heart, our mind, we can reflect that in our community. There are some techniques that we'll share as to how to enhance communication in the home. Active listening technique. Give full attention.
But that is why God made us with two ears, one mouth, to listen twice as much as always speak.
Listen twice.
Listen twice.
So focus entirely on the speaker without distractions. Make eye contact. Nod. Use body language to show you are engaged. We never tell you for that.
Oh,
Reflect and clarify. As earlier I was talking about ask, rephrase, and take action. So reflect and clarify, paraphrasing what the speaker has said to ensure understanding. Use phrase like, so what you're saying is, or I hear what you're saying that. Another technique, ask open-ended questions. Encourage deeper conversation by asking questions that require more than a yes or a no. So,
for example.
as an example, can you tell me more about so on and so on? So, you are saying that so on and so on instead of saying, so you want me to take up the carrot? That's a yes or no. No, have the question phrased so then more explanation can be given. Another technique for communication or assisting or enhancing communication is avoid interruption. So allow the speaker to express their thoughts fully before responding. Before I learned this, I always anticipate what the person is saying, and sometimes I would interrupt by putting in what I think they were gonna say. And sometimes it's not what they were gonna say. So I learned from when I was younger not to interrupt. And during my college years, that was also enhanced. So therefore, I understand, just keep it quiet, pay attention, make sure that you hear or you understand what is being said. And it, you may be on a different wavelength. You may be a fast person, a fast-paced person, and you're waiting for those words to drop from the person's mouth, what the person is saying, but you want to finish. It's like you're saying, get on with the program.
Microwave life.
Yes. So it's important that we understand, we're talking about the needs of each family member. All of us are individually different. So when we understand our family or each family's needs, we know that, okay, Miriam, she talks very slow and sometimes she pauses and I think she's finished. And then she said, but I was trying to gather my thoughts. But the other person will be very fluent and they get their thoughts right out. But so once we know that dynamics in the family, then each person get their chance to express their thought fully before we respond. And this shows respect. So whether it's the little child or it's the adult parent, everyone deserves respect. Parents, your children deserves respect. Children, your parents deserve respect. So it goes both ways. All of us need to get the same respect because we are on the same level. Because we have different roles doesn't mean that we are not. We are human together. But parents, children, we, all of us, deserves respect. That's a part of communication. Another technique is providing feedback. Offer thoughtful responses. So after you hear Miriam talk slow, and then you finally hear what she has to say after you sit down and say, oh my God, when she's gonna make her point? And then you just boom, 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 you make your point. But it's important that we give everyone the opportunity to express themselves so they can feel comfortable. Because remember, we're creating something at home so it can spiral in the wider society. And that child becoming an adult will feel valued in the community that they are, because it started from the home. And if you did not have that in the home, you can help that person, or you can find help for that person as they go along.
Yes, definitely.
Now,
feedback is very important.
yes.
Yeah. So that we can understand each other.
Effective communication technique. Use the I statement. Express or take ownership of your emotions and avoid placing blame. You cause it.
Wow, what did I cause?
I'm just making a point. You see
Oh,
how
it's a
quick?
point.
Yes. So, um, Derrick, I feel upset when, instead of saying you make me upset, and then you see the different. You see the when I point and said you cause it. You see, he turned around right away. What did I cause? And depending on how it is said, the emotions may flare. So it's important that we are able to balance our emotion even when we're upset. Uh, one of the aspects or the attributes of the fruit of the spirit is self-control.
Yeah, because when you say you make me upset, you're blaming me for how you feel. And that's not fair.
Us.
That's not fair. You're blaming me.
Us. Let me give you something for crying for. When we were growing up, there's this girl that came to school, and every time she start to cry, our mother say, "You want me to give you something to cry for?" And she cried, so she beat her more than. So I know you're afraid of lick. Be an be empathic. Try to understand the speaker's emotion. And we're talking about starting from the home. So the speaker could be the child or adult to adult. Try to understand the speaker's emotion and perspective, acknowledging their feelings and show empathy in your response. Empathy means you're genuine with what you're saying. Don't be cynical, because it is going to be identified that you're cynical. Stay calm and respectful. Maintain a calm and respectful tone, even during disagreements. As we spoke about earlier, conflict resolution. So stay calm and respectful. This helps keep conversation productive and prevent escalation. Even when you know you're right, and you want to say, I know I'm right, but just keep it under wraps. So, escalate something. Because there are many times that I'm right in something and I want to say, me know I'm right, but guess what? It will turn the whole thing in a different way.
Just like when I'm on the road, this is what I use from off the road in the home. When I'm on the road, and you know that when you're driving on the road, and especially when you know you have the right of way, but that person that doesn't have the right of way it though seems like he's stopping,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you have to just give up your right away
Mm-hmm.
to allow the other person to go through at times.
Because
Why?
we don't know what's in their mind.
Not even that. Right away, don't fix vehicle. So even though you have the right away and you bam go out there and bam, oh, I have the right away, your vehicle still mash up
And you may mash up
and
too.
you may mash up too. And also, you're going to be double late, triple late, and maybe 5 months late
Mm-hmm.
for whatever you're rushing to. So right away, do not fix vehicle. And so therefore, being right to win an argument, especially with the person that you love or persons that you love, is not going to prevent the divorce. The only thing prevent divorce is when we love each other.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Amen.
Okay.
So staying calm and respectful helps keep conversation productive and prevent escalation.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Set aside time for conversation, families, parents, children. In this time, I know it's the technologically advanced time we're living in, where most persons are on their gadgets. But remember, we're communal beings. Set time for communication. Set time for each person to discuss their individual needs and concern. This shows that you value and prioritize open communication.
Mm.
Be open to feedback. Encourage family members to share their thoughts and feedback with you. Be respectful, and be it repetitive. Also be willing to consider their perspective. Don't just say no, 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 no. It's my way or the highway. It's good to hear them out. Open to feedback. So by incorporating all of these active listening and communication techniques, families can create an environment where everyone feels heard and understood.
Amen.
Now, if you don't know how to develop these techniques, there are people out there are studies out there that can help you, because we want to make sure that families stay together. We want to make sure that children and parents have a good relationship. And if that's not happening, check with us. We can direct you to the help you need, because they said family that stays together, or
Praise
family
together.
prays together. Families build communities. And when communities are working in synergy, it makes life so much easier.
Mm-hmm. Amen. And happy Monday to you too, Queen Nancy.
Happy Monday, Queen Nancy.
Mm. Yes, you can put your comments. You can ask questions. You can raise your hand. The raise hand is up, so you can raise your hand, ask question, and or comment. Especially those that are right here on the meeting platform, you can do that. For those on the YouTube and Facebook platform, you can put your comments in the comments or in the chat.
So for listeners, I encourage you to take the first step in identifying and addressing the needs within your own families. Start by actively listening to each family member. Maybe you can use this as something starting this week. Actively listening to each family member, or actively listening to each person. This is something that you could adapt, a habit that you could start, which is a good habit. Understanding their unique perspectives and foster an environment of open communication and support. So, as you strengthen these connections at home, you will be more equipped to extend your skills and insights to the broader community. You'll find that you'll be better at work. By doing so, you not only enhance the well being of your family, but also contribute to creating a more empathic, understanding, and cohesive community. So let's embark on this journey together to make a positive impact, starting from the heart of our homes.
Yes. Amen.
Starting from the heart of our homes. Because when we start there, it spirals in the wider community. Let me see if there are any questions or comments, other comments. I hope this helps someone, and I'm giving you homework, and I'm giving ourselves homework. Start this in the home. Find out, listen. If you never listened attentively, keenly before, make it a duty this week. Say, I want to, let me see if I can do this. Because if it's not something that you normally do, this is something new you can develop. I want to do that. Let me see if I can listen for a few seconds without interrupting the person. Try that. We are developing, we're practicing how we can be better at home, and that will help us in our wider community.
Wonderful. Any questions or comment? As we said, you can raise your hand and to, make any comments or statement. But I just want to say, or just add to what you just say, Queen Miriam, that a lot of times family members are just going in and out of the home. And most of the time they are some are in front of their gadgets, some are in front of the TV. There's no real time to actually sit down and listen to each other or speak with each other in a amicable way. The only time that communication even happens is when somebody did something wrong and a correction has to be implemented. So how do we now divert from that kind of communication, apart from saying, you know hi mom, I'm home, or whatever. How do we start to implement a time for communication in the home where we are listening to each other, we are speaking about something that affects each other and addressing it, instead of the only time now we are addressing it is when I step out of line with what?
I think it has to be an intentional act. just as how we have an itinerary or an agenda or a schedule, a daily schedule of things to do, I think it's important that families put that in the schedule of things. Whether it doesn't have to be long. If it was not in your schedule before, start scheduling, whether it's a 10 minutes, in the workplace, we call it powwow, or a 10-minute, coming together. Start with that, because that will help for those who your children are no longer at home. Create, I know during COVID, a lot of families created a WhatsApp group where they check in on a constant basis. But this could be, if the family is far and wide, you could have a WhatsApp chat at 5-10 minutes. If the families are still home, schedule time at 10 minutes will help. Whether it's in the middle of the week, it doesn't have to be every day. Because everyone's schedule is different. Every family dynamic is different.
Mhm.
But to foster that, it's important that you intentionally set that in your schedule.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
You're
Do you have a
welcome.
closing thought or a closing remark?
Communication is very vital. And of course, we know we have verbal, nonverbal, but we're talking about starting from the home. Home is where everything begins. And so let's get back to the foundation of things, where we can share openly, because only in the home we see when the nose run. We see when you wake up in the morning, you see everything, the vulnerability at home. So let's get back to that foundation where we can share genuinely, help each other genuinely. And therefore, when we leave home, the joy that comes from home, others can be affected positively by it.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you very much, viewers, for viewing, and those who will be viewing in the future also. Um, Communication is very important on every level: home level, business level, friend level, uh, married level, every level. Let us communicate first with love. Let us communicate first with love. And this love only comes from above, because God is love. Love wasn't created without fall in love, without none of that. Love comes from God. Let us plug into that source so that we can have the love in order to give.
Amen.
Thank you.
And our
Appreciate it.
quote for this week.
And Queen Sadie says, wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Sadie.
And for
Appreciate.
those who are on the meeting platform, Queen Barbara, Queen Nancy, and Queen Sadie. This is this one.
Okay. Hold on, Queen Miriam.
Oh.
Mhm.
Okay, our quote for this week, this quarter. Is it this week or this quarter?
This
In
week.
the flow of silence, hear your true self. Flow with your authenticity and attract genuine connections. So we're talking about communication. sometimes you have to be quiet in order to hear the other person.
Mm.
So in the flow of silence, hear your true self, flow with your authenticity, and attract genuine connections. Until next week, see you for another episode of Mindset Monday.
Hello.